Did you know that getting in the best shape of your life doesn't require tracking every calorie, grinding through endless gym sessions, or freezing your you-know-what's off in an ice bath? I did all that. Spent most of my Sundays meal prepping, spent hours in the gym every week, gave up on quality time with my family to squeeze in that ice bath and sauna before bed. And still I ended up with a dad bod until I found one simple principle that helped me get in the best shape of my life, even as I creep up on 40. Man, I sound old. So in this video, I'll show you how to get in shape so fast it feels like cheating. And no, you don't need endless hours in the gym, performance enhancers, or a perfect routine to do it. All right, there's a simple framework behind every smart training plan that helps you get in shape fast, even with a hectic schedule. It's called the FITT principle. Most people don't even know this framework exists, but this is how most personal trainers and fitness coaches build programs that get real results without wasting time on routines that don't move the needle. If you're busy and want to lose 5 to 10 kilograms, put on muscle and just get in the best shape of your life without turning your life upside down, then FITT is your cheat code. Okay, so let's start with F. The F stands for frequency, how often you're training. And this is where most people go wrong. They either train too much and burn out, or train too little and see no results. Maybe you overdo it and start resenting your sessions, or maybe you undertrain, get frustrated and give up entirely. Either way, you're not getting anywhere. So how much is enough? It always comes down to your schedule. How much can you realistically commit to, no matter what, rain, hail, or shine? No ifs or buts. If you've got 2 hours a week, then 4 30-minute sessions will outperform one giant 2-hour slog any day of the week. Why? Because your body's designed to move frequently, not just occasionally. So here's what I recommend. Figure out how much time you can actually dedicate to training each week, non-negotiable. Then split that evenly across 4 to 5 sessions. If that's 90 minutes total, cool. That means 20 to 25 minutes per session. It doesn't have to be exact, but once you set that structure, you'll build consistency, and that's what drives results. What if you're training 4 times a week, 30 minutes each, and still not seeing progress? That's where the I comes in, intensity. How hard you're actually working during those sessions. Because if it's taking you 30 minutes to squeeze in a few push-ups, a couple of squats, and a few crunches, you probably already know the answer. The less time you've got, the more deliberate you need to be. That means less rest and more compound movements. Stuff that actually works multiple joints and muscles at once. Think squats, push-ups, deadlifts, rows, real bang for buck exercises. Now, if you're wondering how to know whether you're working hard enough, a simple method is tracking your heart rate. You want to sit between 60 to 80% of your max for the bulk of the session. Quick way to work this out is 220 minus your age. That's your estimated max. I'm 21, so my heart rate is, okay, you caught me. I'm 37, so my max is 183. 80% of that is around 146 beats per minute. That's my sweet spot. It's not an exact science, but it's a good guide. So here's what I recommend. Use your heart rate and conversation as your main 2 intensity checks. If you can chat comfortably while you're training, you're probably sitting below the 80% mark. Doesn't mean it's useless. But if your goal is to get in the best shape fast, especially with shorter sessions, you've got to bring the heat. Damn, that was cheesy. Now, just be clear. I'm not talking about performance training here. That's a separate rabbit hole. And if you want me to dive into that in another video, drop a comment below. But for getting in shape, looking better, feeling better, heart rate and how easy you can talk mid-set are 2 solid indicators. So you've nailed your frequency, you're working on the right intensity, but still not seeing results. This brings us to the first T, type, as in what kind of training are you actually doing? Because let's be honest, 30 minutes of calf raises 4 times a week won't do much. Actually, maybe for my chicken legs. But 30 minutes into burpees, into deadlifts, different story. Earlier, I mentioned compound movements, exercises that work multiple muscle groups at once. They're efficient, effective, and ideal when time's tight. The simplest way to cover all bases is to think in movement patterns, not muscles. There are 4 big ones: squat, hinge, push, and pull. If you've got one go-to exercise for each, you can train almost anywhere. No gym memberships, no overthinking, no waste of time on endless isolation work. So here's what I recommend. Pick your 4, 1 squat, 1 hinge, 1 push, 1 pull, and cycle through them across the week. That might look like goblet squats, hip thrusts, push-ups, and rows. Don't worry about perfection. Just cover those 4 movement patterns consistently, and your body will change fast. All right, we've covered FITT, but there's still one more T, and it's a big one. Time. We've touched on it throughout this video, but let's go a little bit deeper. If you're juggling full-time work, family, and life, chances are you don't have a lot of it. So instead of trying to squeeze your life around training, do the opposite. Set clear, realistic targets that fit around everything else. There's no magic number of minutes or hours. The real key is identifying your weakest link in the FITT framework, then adjusting the others to compensate. If you've only got 10 minutes a day but can show up every day, then your intensity has to go up. Your training type needs to be efficient. Full body movements, minimal rest, no time wasted. If you've only got 3 sessions a week, but each one of them is 45 minutes, you don't need to rush then. That's the time to lift heavier, take a slightly longer rest, and maybe throw in some extra core and mobility work. So my recommendation here is simple. Decide first how many sessions you can commit to, week in, week out, and reverse engineer the rest. Because once you've got your time budget, building a smart, consistent plan becomes 10 times easier. So let's recap the FITT principle. The cheat code to getting in shape without burning yourself out. Frequency is how often, intensity is how hard, type is what you're doing, time, how long and how consistently. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to know where your gap is and plug it in with the right strategy. Because when you're short on time, structure beats motivation every single day. So start small, stay consistent and tweak as you go. That's how you get in shape so fast it almost feels like cheating. Okay, so now you've got a simple framework that every good coach uses to plan sessions and programs, and it'll keep you getting in shape fast, even with a busy schedule. But what if you're doing all the right things to help you lose weight, build muscle, and transform your body, and you're still not getting results? Well, you might be doing a few key habits that are stalling your progress. So watch the next video where I'll show you the do's and don'ts of weight loss, the exact tips you need to start seeing results faster.